Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thomas Hammarberg, Commissioner of Human Rights of the Council of Europe. Mesdames et Messieurs, Thomas Hammarberg, Commissaire aux droits de l'homme du Conseil de l'Europe.
I belong to the generation born during the Second World War and grown up in the ashes of this disaster. We had to learn that peace was not automatic. It had to be built. We had to learn that peace required unity in Europe. Peace required respect for the individual. Never again was our determination and hope. Unfortunately, we had politicians who had vision and courage to start building the new Europe. And Council of Europe was the first manifestation of this dream. And from the very beginning, democracy, human rights, and the rule of law became its mission. The Council adopted the first international, legally binding Convention on Human Rights, followed by other treaties. It established procedures to ensure that these agreements were respected also in reality. The creation of the Human Rights Court here in Strasbourg was a milestone. The Charter on Social Rights, another crucial step forward. The agreed norms were tested also in crisis situations. The defense of democracy in Greece at the time demonstrated that the Council was something more than a meeting place. And when the Iron Curtain was lifted 20 years ago, it was obvious that the new democracies should join the Council of Europe, the European home. When celebrating now the 60th anniversary, we should, of course, not only reflect on what this organization has achieved, but also on what remains to be done. In fact, serious and structural shortcomings still impede a full realization of human rights in Europe. There are still Europeans who are forgotten and marginalized, who have lost their homes, who do not have the context or the means to seek legal advice, who face language barriers when they want help. There are still people in Europe who are repressed or underground and fear exposure, who are isolated in their disability, who have lost everything and are too fragile to start again. There are those who are victims of different forms of intolerance or discrimination, violence or trafficking. There are still those whose living conditions are inhuman. There are those who risk their lives to seek and tell the truth, who flee war and poverty and knock on our doors asking for a better life. So the challenge is still in front of us. How can we ensure genuine rights for everyone on our continent? Continuing to build a truly just society is certainly not simple. It requires political will, popular support, and resources. It requires legislation influenced by human rights principles, a competent, non-corrupt judiciary, a disciplined police force, a system for independent monitoring, a political culture which is open for criticism and ready to take action for reform. And it requires the courage to dream. Enabling all people to enjoy equal access to rights must now be a priority for the future of the Council of Europe. We therefore ought to continue to join forces to attain the full respect for the equal rights and dignity of all human beings, for a Europe where no one is left without protection of their rights. Over the past 60 years, the Council of Europe has indeed achieved a great deal in building a continent where disputes are solved by dialogue, injustice is corrected by agreed standards and procedures protecting the rights of the individual. This has also sowed hope among many. We must now empower the next generations with the same hopes, means and abilities to defend the true European values. Thank you.